It's Thursday, February 6. In the headlines, $134 million for relief to farmers affected by the dry period. A day of celebration for Bob Marley's 80th birthday. In business news, business confidence is up. Regionally, Capri launches digital platform to track China's Caribbean projects. And in sports, the Reggae Boys ready to clash against Trinidad and Tobago. This is the news on PBC Jamaica. I'm Simone Absalom Gale. $134 million has been earmarked to provide tangible relief to farmers affected by the current dry period. Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining Minister Floyd Green made the disclosure at the House of Representatives this week. The Agriculture Minister says 7 parishes have recorded below average rainfall, with measurements in December 2024 ranging from 53% to 85% of their 30-year climatical means.
The impact of this deficit is particularly concerning for farmers who rely on regular and sufficient rainfall to sustain their crops and livestock. Even in cases where some parishes experience wetter than normal conditions, disparities in rainfall distribution have led to inconsistencies in water availability. Farmers in parishes such as Portland, St. Mary, Kingston, and St. Andrew, they saw increased wetness, and as such, they may not immediately feel the strain. However, in most of our western parishes, including Westmoreland, St. Elizabeth, and Hanover, and central parishes of Manchester and Clarendon, they saw rainfall levels below December 2023 and below their 30-year average.
Minister Green explains that a shortfall in precipitation has resulted in challenging conditions for the agricultural sector, particularly in areas that have recorded consistently low rainfall. Noting the possible fallout in the upcoming drought season, Minister Green says the ministry has already commenced taking the necessary steps to alleviate the effects of the dry period and brace for the months to come.
First on the front line, Mr. Speaker, is water trucking to aid the hardest hit parishes of St. Elizabeth, Manchester, Clarendon, and Westmoreland and Hanover. The ministry has already committed $30 million, of which $14 million will be administered by RADA and $16 million by the National Irrigation Commission to accelerate delivery and to ensure that our farmers get the water that they need.
He says private contractors will also be engaged to ensure that no farmer is left without access to this crucial resource.
Beyond this immediate relief, Mr. Speaker, we're investing in sustainable longer-term solutions. We have already started procuring water tanks and drip irrigation kits. In fact, we've earmarked $79 million to procure water tanks and drip irrigation kits to help our farmers. We are partnering with individual farmers and groups of farmers to put in place water catchment areas, and as such, pond liners will be provided, and we've earmarked $17 million to provide pond liners in response to our ongoing dry period. Additionally, $8 million is being earmarked to provide grass mulch, a powerful tool to help our farmers retain soil moisture and to protect crops.
Identifier and entomologist in the Plant Quarantine Produce Inspection Unit, the PQPI unit in Kingston, Karen Barrett Christie, wants farmers to get into the habit of communicating with their representatives from the Rural Agricultural Development Authority, RADA. She says they should report changes in pest populations affecting their fields because pests left unchecked can devastate fields of crops, resulting in significant losses for farmers and jeopardizing Jamaica's food security. She says with synergy in dealing with pests, when something comes into the country, it can be dealt with immediately. So, quote, that we are not waiting for the thing to become established and then we all hold our hands and say, oh my God, if we had known that it was here, we could have done this or we could have done that, end quote. The Caribbean Maritime University is going green. By August 2025, the main campus at Palisadoes Park in Kingston will be fully powered by solar energy. CMU President Professor Andrew Spencer says the project will include solar carport and rooftop power plants along with EV charging stations. Denita Rotney has more in this report.
We believe that the Caribbean Maritime University, as it thrives and grows, must play its own part also in the energy space from the perspective of solar technology. And so we're very pleased, very excited by the fact that we are going to be in a position to have our entire campus fully solarized by August of 2025.
Speaking at a recent JIS think tank, CMU President Professor Andrew Spencer says the university is embracing solar technology to generate excess energy, reduce its environmental impact, and set an example in sustainability.
But we're also excited that we're going to have so much energy tied to the JPS grid, of course, that will allow us to be able to minimize our footprint on the environment, therefore leading by example.
He explained that the solarization of the campus will also mean that the university's utility bill will be reduced significantly.
It's going to mean that we are less of a burden, though we've never been, on the government's purse. What it means is that our utility bill will be slashed significantly. But I want to point out an important fact. Even without the implementation of the full solarization project, we have reduced our energy consumption by 10% over the last year. And that's by simply doing the smaller things. Imagine when this full solar project comes in, it's going to be through a carport structure, it's going to be through roofing structures, it's going to ensure that we have all that we need. In fact, the understanding is that we'll have 24% more than what we actually need.
The CMU president added that this action allows the university to contribute to the broader vision.
The CMU is going to produce more than what it needs. And so we're looking forward to that day because it also gives us an opportunity to contribute to the bigger picture. We're the only university with a degree in microbiotechnology, in marine biotechnology rather. And there's a reason for that. We're not just doing another degree in marine biology. It's marine biotechnology because it's solution oriented. And this is one of those ways in which we contribute.
The estate of Bob Marley has lined up a series of events to celebrate what would have been the reggae legend's 80th birthday. The festivities will begin today, Thursday, February 6th, with an uprising tribute concert live streaming from the family's Tough Gong Studios in Kingston, Jamaica, featuring new and established Jamaican artists like Mortimer, Bugle, Kumar Fire, and Naomi Cohen. Festivities will also be happening at the Bob Marley Museum. The 80th birthday celebrations will also include a worldwide sing-along of Marley classics, presented by the Bob Marley Foundation and stationed at Manchester, England's Co-op Live Arena. This will feature the 80,000-person Young Voices Choir, with the group sharing the performance live over their YouTube channel. Persons can watch the happenings via the live stream on the Tough Gong YouTube page. Legendary Jamaican singer, musician, and songwriter Bob Marley was born on February 6, 1945. Bob Marley rose to fame with his backing band, the Wailers, starting in 1963. He eventually moved on to a solo career. Bob Marley's songs sounded peaceful but were often political, with popular themes of love, redemption, and struggle. He died of melanoma in 1981 when he was only 36 years old. Time now for the Business Report with Denise Williams.
Welcome to today's Business Report. I'm Denise Williams, here to bring you the stories shaping the financial world and guiding your journey to smarter business decisions. Let's dive into the top headlines. Jamaica has 8 commercial banks, with Scotiabank and the National Commercial Bank Financial Group controlling 70% of the nation's savings accounts. Data released by the Bank of Jamaica indicate that the country's 8 commercial banks held $76.77 billion in deposits for central government, $3.1 billion in savings for local authorities, and $69.31 billion for a select group of public sector entities as at the end of November last year. Approximately 70% of this amount is held by Scotiabank and NCB, which pay on average 2% a year to savers on the funds on deposit. The central bank also reported that commercial banks held $117.1 billion in deposits for members of the diaspora, $782.1 billion for people resident in Jamaica, and $577.7 billion for corporate entities. The total deposits held at the end of November last year was $1.8 trillion, or 54.73% of GDP. Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce, Senator Auburn Hill, is lauding the release of the Index of Business Confidence, showing an increase of 12.9% in the fourth quarter of 2024, a steady quarter-on-quarter increase, and a 7.3% year-over-year increase, the highest level of recorded business confidence since the second quarter in 2019. This data suggests that more businesses are optimistic about Jamaica's economy, expecting better financial performance, and nearly 73% of businesses consider it a good time to invest in Jamaica. Sectors such as wholesale and retail, finance, insurance, and real estate are leading the way in driving this positive outlook. Hill commented on the report, stating, "The latest business and consumer confidence reports affirm the entrepreneurial drive of Jamaica. The Andrew Holness administration's efforts to create an enabling business environment are yielding good and clear results, as reflected in the confidence levels." For the trading period ending February 5, 2025, these were the most actively traded stocks. Toll road operator Trans-Jamaican Highway Limited Jamaican dollar shares with 2,651,449 units traded, representing 16.16% of market sales volume. Toll road operator Trans-Jamaica Highway Limited US dollar shares with 2,509,086 units traded, representing 15.30% of market sales value. Alternative energy provider Wigton Energy Limited with 2,279,470 units traded, representing 13.90% of market sales volume. We now shift our focus to the Forex market rate set by the Bank of Jamaica. On February 5, 2025, the Bank of Jamaica reported US $83.72 million purchased and US $74.94 million sold by Forex traders. Forex traders earned $1.06 per dollar, selling the US at $158.19 and buying the US at $157.13. The Canadian dollar netted Forex traders 92 cents per transactions, with selling at $111.54 and buying at $110.62. The British pound yielded forex traders $3.53 in profits, with selling at $197.43 and buying at $193.90. Ready to qualify for a mortgage but need a credit score boost fast? Well, over the next 3 months, you can implement these actionable steps to potentially increase your score by 100 points and secure better mortgage terms. Here are some options. Avoid new hard inquiries. What to do? Refrain from applying for new credit that results in hard inquiries. Hold off on any non-essential credit applications during these 3 months. Next, consider automating your payments. What you're going to do is set up automated payments to ensure you never miss a due date. And in this action step, you're going to enroll in auto-pay services for all reoccurring bills starting immediately. Now, from nothing to financial resilience. For most of us, and particularly women over the age of 45, reoccurring income is one of the best ways to build financial stability. The key is taking strategic steps to create multiple streams of income so you never have to just rely on one source of money again. The key? Multiple streams of income so that money flows to you in different ways, whether through active income, which is work, passive income, which is investments, investment income, which is assets, or reoccurring income, subscriptions or royalties. The goal is to create financial resilience that lasts. And that wraps up today's business report. I'm Denise Williams, reminding you that every financial decision is a step toward your future. Until next time, stay focused, stay informed, and keep striving for success. See you soon.
In regional news, from Grenada, the Caribbean Policy Research Institute, CAPRI, has launched a new digital platform aimed at tracking and analyzing China's diplomatic and economic projects in the region. GBN News has the details.
The China CARICOM portal, unveiled during an Inter-American Dialogue webinar on Thursday, maps over 800 Chinese projects across participating Caribbean nations between 2013 and 2023. The tool will serve as an essential resource for policymakers and researchers to make informed decisions about engagements with China. Alexander Coswell, a fellow at the Caribbean Policy Research Institute, CAPRI, who oversees international security and foreign relations related research, presented the portal.
We decided that our first foray will cover a topic that is important for the entire region, which is China's growing relationship with CARICOM states and the region in the whole, but we're focusing down on CARICOM states. So I'd like to introduce you to the China CARICOM portal. Now, this portal is an interactive visual representation of data that we have collected over the past year on China's evolving relationship with the region. The data covers from 2013 to 2023.
Diane Edwards, Director of the Professional Services Unit at the University of the West Indies Mona School of Business and Management, said the platform will provide hands-on data that will help alleviate concerns over the Caribbean's debt to China, as well as help dispel myths surrounding the relationships between Caribbean countries and China.
Of the controversy surrounds the question of debt. I think also the tracker is going to really provide a repository of information for policymakers, for students, for academics, and the general public to really shed some light on the relationship and dispel, I think, some of the emotive reactions that we see, some of the almost anxiety and disinformation around the relationship. which sometimes is stoked for political reasons.
The tracker features targeted investments in sectors such as digital infrastructure and renewable energy patterns in China's regional engagement. A quick search of the portal showed 130 projects for Grenada between 2013 and 2021, with 123 listed as completed, while the status of the other 7 are listed as ongoing or undetermined. The platform will be updated regularly, with the next data update expected by summer this year. The platform will provide an evidence-based foundation for future policy discussions about foreign investment and regional development, with both policymakers and the public able to access the platform for free. Reporting for GPN News, Beverly Telesford.
In Antigua and Barbuda, pollster Peter Wickham says several policies from the Trump administration could shape political dynamics in Antigua and Barbuda and across the region. He shared his insights as a guest on Wednesday's edition of Antigua and Barbuda. Ursel Charles Jr. reports.
Tariffs, deportations, federal government layoffs, among others, are now part of the daily vocabulary of a new Donald Trump administration in the United States. As recently espoused by Prime Minister Gaston Brown, Antigua-Barbuda has a $200 million trade deficit with the U.S., and its new policies are sure to affect this local economy. But many of the policies remnant from a Trump campaign and presidency may also have an effect on politics and elections. Increased tariffs from China, Mexico, and Canada are sure to raise inflationary pressures on goods imported into this country. If prices do go up, political pollster and analyst Peter Wickham warns this electorate will not be forgiving.
My experience, both regionally and internationally, is that voters could care less. Voters are very unforgiving where inflation is concerned. You send up the price of a product, people will react negatively to it. And essentially what has been happening post-COVID is demonstrating that. So we have been having widespread increases across the board in all of the Caribbean islands where prices of everything has been going up. However, whenever elections are being fought, people are very unforgiving and very angry.
And then a 2024 report from U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, reveals that some 110 Antiguans and Barbudans have been given final orders for removal, meaning they could be deported back to this country at any time. Wickham believes this, however, will have no real impact on the local political scene.
The level of impact that you can get from 100 returning nationals is not going to be particularly significant. So I think psychologically we are more concerned about it, but I think in a real way, these migrants are not going to have a huge impact.
As it relates, though, to running for political office and subsequent campaigning, Wickham believes there is a lesson for politicians new and old to learn from the successful Trump run to the White House.
I think it is a masterclass in the elevation of self over country and the extent to which you can co-opt the resources of wealthy people in pursuit of an objective that will make them wealthier and supported by people who will suffer most as a result. So that's the class for me. There's nothing beneficial or altruistic in relation to development that I'm seeing in all of this.
For ABS News, I am Ursel Charles Jr.
Barbados is gearing up to expand its global business reach with new bilateral treaties and double taxation agreements. Minister of Energy and Business, Senator Lisa Cummins, says talks will soon begin with partners in Europe, Asia, and Africa. She made the announcement during the debate on the Foreign Currency Permits Bill 2025, adding that efforts are already on the way to reposition Barbados as a major international business hub.
The negotiating team is preparing to travel next month to open negotiations with Germany. They will be continuing the second round of negotiations with Ghana, which we completed the first round in November and then into December. We will be opening also in March negotiations, Mr. President, with Hong Kong, and we expect that coming out of the work that we have started to do in collaboration with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade and the Invest Barbados team, along with the Barbados Revenue Authority and others, all of the global business community partners, that we will be implementing a new strategic plan for the rollout of the attraction of global business to Barbados. What are the key things that we consider the mind of business? And we said to the team, we don't want you to consider the administrative part of it on our side only. We know what the regulatory parts of it require of us. But we want you to get into the mind of global business. What is the mischief that we are trying to correct? What makes Barbados more attractive a jurisdiction than another jurisdiction for like business? Because let me be clear, Barbados is not a BVI. They are a different jurisdiction than Barbados.
In sports, we start with football. Jamaica's squad of local-based players are lined up to show their skills in 2 friendly games against Caribbean neighbors Trinidad and Tobago. The first one of these is being played today, February 6th, at the Montego Bay Sports Complex. Head coach Steve McLaren called up a squad comprising mainly of players from the Jamaica Premier League for the 2-game series, which will also see the teams meeting at the Anthony Spalding Sports Complex in Kingston on Sunday. Trinidad and Tobago's under-17 men's team will begin their journey to the 2025 FIFA Men's World Cup this Friday, when they take on Guyana in their opening match of the CONCACAF World Cup qualifying series. Head coach Sean Cooper named a strong 21-man squad consisting of local and foreign-based players. Adrian Lazar tells us more in this story.
After months of preparation, Trinidad and Tobago's under-17 men's team departed for Costa Rica to take part in the CONCACAF World Cup qualifying series, beginning with an opening Group B match versus Guyana this Friday. A 21-man squad selected by head coach Sean Cooper has seen the inclusion of 8 foreign-based players. Among them are Inter Miami Academy trio, goalkeeper Levi Williams and defenders Charles Williams and Quinton John. Also in goal are Naparima College standout goalkeeper Mikhail Clement and Chaguanas North Secondary's Nokosi Moore. The midfield includes secondary school football league standouts Caden Trestrail of Fatima College and Adam Pear of St. Benedict's College, along with Sawa Jablate's Aaron McLeod. In the striking department, TNT would be relying on Queen's Royal College duo of Josiah Theophilus and Philip Nelson, as well as Naparima's Adasa Richardson, alongside English and American-based players Josiah Kalicharan and Timothy Valentine. Following TNT's Group B match against Guyana on February 7th, the national team will then take on British Virgin Islands, then St. Martin, before ending their campaign against host Costa Rica. Adrian Lazar, TTT Sport.
Now on to the pitch with cricket. Cricket fans, get ready. Cricket West Indies has unveiled a thrilling schedule for the senior men's and women's teams from May to December 2025. With a mix of fixtures, CWI hopes supporters can start planning for an action-packed year. The men's team will kick things off with limited overs tours in the UK.
The men's team will continue its preparations for the 2027 ICC Cricket World Cup, starting with a 3-match ODI series against Ireland from May 21st to the 25th in Dublin. 4 days later, they will face England in a bid for back-to-back ODI series wins, with 3 ODIs scheduled from May 29th to June 3rd. This will be followed by 3 T20 internationals against England from June 6th to the 10th, before concluding the UK tour with 3 T20s against Ireland in Belfast from June 12th to the 15th. The men in maroon will then shift focus to Test cricket with the start of the ICC World Test Championship cycle under the new head coach Darren Sammy. They will battle for the prestigious Frank Worrell Trophy against Australia in a 3-match test series beginning in Barbados from June 25th to the 29th, before moving to Grenada from July 3rd to the 7th and concluding in Jamaica from July 12th to the 16th. A 5-match T20 series against Australia follows, with the first 2 games at Sabina Park on July 20th and 22nd, and the remaining 3 at Warner Park St. Kitts on July 25th, 26th and 28th. To close out the home summer, the West Indies will play against Pakistan in 3 T20s in Lauderhill, Florida, followed by 3 ODIs at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy in Trinidad from July 31st to August 12th. The men's team will then embark on an overseas tour of India, Bangladesh and New Zealand, spanning September 21st to December 23rd. India will feature 2 test matches, Bangladesh 3 ODIs and 3 T20s, while a full tour will be hosted by New Zealand, consisting of 5 T20s, 3 ODIs and 3 test matches. The women's team will begin their 2025 campaign with the ICC Cricket World Cup qualifiers in Pakistan from April 4th to the 19th, where 6 teams will compete for 2 spots in the marquee event in India, scheduled for August and September. Following the qualifiers, the women will tour England for a full white ball series featuring 3 T20s and 3 ODIs from May 21st to June 8th. Later in the year, they will host South Africa for a historic white ball series at the 3Ws Oval in Barbados, marking the first time the venue will stage such an international series.
And that's the news on PBCJ. You can follow us on our social media platforms at PBCJamaica. Thanks for watching.